I was coming from work, and he was alighting from a bus. But me, I didn't know him. My colleague knew him. We greeted, and that was all.
Just like that, I said, this is the lady I think I've been looking for.
I remember very well, it was February 1982. He came and asked me whether I would love to be his friend. And not only his friend, somebody would marry. I didn't say yes or no. I kept quiet, and I told him to come another time.
I invited them to come to church where I was ministering, gave them an opportunity to witness and sing. I said, I like the voice, it's so sweet.
And then I remember that evening, out of the church, he came where I used to stay. And then, that is the time he proposed. And I said, yes.
I do.
We got, now he started courting.
And so after that, I told them I'd like you to come and visit my place. I told my mom, I am inviting ladies. There'll be about 5 or 6 of them. But among the 6, there's only one that I'm thinking about. The one who looks like this, looks quiet, not very talkative. And they came at home. We had a good time together. After that, I told Mom, that is the lady I'm thinking about. And I told them, it will not take very long time. I want you to start thinking, preparing, because I want to get married. And so within a year, everything was finished, and we got married.
I've been married for over 20 years.
My father and my mom, they loved one another. But my dad used to take beer. So at times it could be very rough. We used to mishandle my mom badly at times. But of course I was saying it's because he was drinking. And so as I grew up, I was saying, if one time I'm going to get married, I would really love to love my wife. And I would really love to handle her with a lot of care. If God will give me children, I would really love to be very close with them. I would not only love to have them as my children, but also as friends. And so from 2nd April 1982, when we got married, we have been loving one another very close. Because since then, my children, they know that we love one another. We don't pretend. Beating a wife is because you are weak. If you are strong, you don't have to beat her. We are not angels, we are human beings. We may err, she may do a mistake, but unless you sit down, get to know why it happened, be willing to accept, apologize, appreciate her, commend her when she does a good thing, you may end up not agreeing. And if anything is wrong, communication is very, very important in marriage. And that is what has helped us to move on. And in the family setup, the way we have been living is we trust our children so much. So even if we are together, there's nothing that I cannot talk with my wife, when we are together with them. And they have learned quite a lot, I would say, from us. And so our marriage life has been a little blessing. Because there are times I feel very discouraged because I'm a church minister. I'm a leader of pastors. And at times we may disagree outside there. But I always tell them, even if we disagree, I know when I get back home, somebody will tell me, welcome and feel at home. That is because she's always there for me, and I'm always there for her.
And for me, I can say to be submissive to my husband. And always, I know when he's angry, and I know how to handle him. And even when coming home, I would read from the face. In fact, even in the house. And I would change my way of talking, or I will know how to handle him, because I have to be careful when he's angry.
We are used to buying cards for one another, even at this time. She loves ice cream, so I will go and buy and bring it home, and we have it together. And I used to love country music, so I can just put it for, of course, I'll not play the worship and whatever when we are together with her. I love country music, so we'd just be together with her, and I just enjoy when she's smiling and loving, And you may find us playing some games together with her at home, And the children just say, what kind of people are these, And that is the way it has been all along. The other thing I would also say is she works in the hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital. She's a nurse. At the time she comes back home when she's tired. So I feel comfortable to walk in the kitchen, prepare a meal for her, breakfast for her. When she's coming, I'll get it and bring it on the table and tell her, welcome dear and enjoy your meal. Every day. It is me who wakes up every morning, even today. Prepare the breakfast for everybody, tea, warm the water, take it to the bathroom for her. And that is the way it has been. And so our way of life is quite different, And I don't feel like I'm forced to. I feel that's my way, my way of life. When I officiate weddings, because I usually officiate a number of them, I usually like to tell the people I'm I'm officiating their wedding, be close to your wife. And when they are talking, they say, Bishop has been a real model to us as far as marriage life is concerned. And I thank God because of that. There are a number of things that happen. I've talked about communication. You see, even before you react to your partner, it's good to know why is he or she behaving the way she is behaving. Take time and study. Get to know your partner well. What does he love? What doesn't he like, Like now, for example, myself, I would say I used to be a very hot-tempered fellow, I could get, ugly very quickly. And she was able to realize my weakness, And she played a big part to help me overcome that, until I found myself, that I was able to calm down. And when you understand your partner, and you know how to handle him, that will help you. Now, when I talk about communication, I also look at it in this way, that you respect, love, and have confidence to your partner. It's also good to be faithful to one another. That does not mean she will not hear stories. I saw your husband, or I saw your lady, but I always say to them, I have not appointed you to be the watchman of my wife, so leave it to me. I will handle that. And because of that, it's trust. We are able to help one another. And if you can trust your partner, be willing to be corrected when you are wrong, accept the mistakes when you are wrong. That way you can be able to move on.
As a working woman, it doesn't mean you are everything in the house. Because maybe you're working and your husband is not working. Maybe you have a lot and your husband doesn't have. But when you become one as a family, you didn't become one because of money, but it was because of love. And to maintain that love, you have to be very much open to one another. I have this, I will do this, and I will do that. You go, you be the in charge in that place, but when you come back to your house, know that you have to submit to your husband.
Another thing I would also like to add on that is it does not mean because you are working, you forget about your family, you forget about your husband, it's good that you are working, but like me, the way I like it, we have been having house girls working at home, but I feel very uncomfortable to sit there and allow the house girl serve me. I don't like that. And I usually tell her I am not ready to, and they knew they could not bring me anything and take unless she does it herself, you know. And I trained them that way. So they knew whether I'm hungry or not, I don't want their service. You know, they can do it to the children, but as far as I'm concerned, I want her to come and serve me when she's allowed. You know, and when she's not, I just go there and do what I want to do for myself, you know. So it's the way that you would like to train and be able to make your family. Yeah.